So look, I haven't been over here for a minute because I'm trying real hard not to gossip and stuff because I've been going to the church and everything lately, and apparently according to the preacher you're not supposed to gossip. So I've been trying to lay off the gossiping, but sometimes you got to spread the good news, right? Over there at the church, the good news is all the words from the good book. Well, over at my house, the good news is what I heard happen. So look, Henry's wife died, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, she was so young. How did she die? So, I asked a lady from up the street, and she's like, well, she's been an alcoholic for years. I said, well, listen. When I saw her at the housewarming when the new neighbors moved in, she seemed a little tipsy to me. And I see her going for her walks and stuff to get her steps in because, we all need to get our steps in. But her steps was more like staggers. But I'm like, staggering is still stepping. And maybe, her Fitbit or whatever still counted that. So maybe she, you could exercise drunk. And I thought maybe that was her motivation. She was exercise drunk. Turns out she's a real bad alcoholic. Well, I was like, that is terrible. Does she need me to take her to a meeting or something? Now, I can't be her sponsor because, But we live on the same block, and I be curtain twitching, so I know too much about her to really, really be her sponsor. But, if she want to come and whisper her little secrets in my ears, then, okay, girl, you come on over here and we can talk about some things. You want me to hear your fifth step? Anyway, so, she passed. And I was like, oh my God, that's terrible. Let me find out what happened. And normally, holiday time, you go around, you give out little cookies, you give a little candy or whatever. I waited until dessert time and I baked a pound cake. Got that real good pound cake recipe with the lemon, put a little lemon zest in it. Delicious. And you eat it with like a little whipped cream, or if you drink wine or a cup of coffee, something like that. Just the perfect way to end a meal, right? So I made my special pound cake, and I was like, well, listen, at dessert time, after everybody's full and relaxed, I'm going to go down there and, offer my condolences and find out what happened. Because this is the thing. People be like, oh, so-and-so died. That's an incomplete sentence. When you tell me so-and-so died, you need to tell me the whole story. You need to say, oh, so-and-so died of, and then fill in the rest of that sentence. Don't just be out here saying somebody died. You don't tell me why, because I want to know why. So anyway, I had to find out why. So I baked a nice pound cake and waited till some of the cars had started to thin out because I just was looking out the window. Yes, my family was here and we had dinner and stuff. They see me all the time. They can wait while I go up the block and I offer my condolences because I have common decency. I was offering my condolences and finding out how she died, right? So I go up there and he's sitting there and he looks sad, but he don't look as sad as I think he should look. But who am I to judge somebody's grief? So I was like, oh, Henry, listen, I'm so sorry for your loss. He said, thank you. I said, how you doing? I brought you this nice pound cake. He said, oh, thank you. Put it over there. There's a lot of food over there. Thank you. I said, oh, are the kids okay? Yeah, the kids are all right. Why the kids all right? Their mama just died. They ain't like their mama. So, I was like, I went over to help myself to a cup of coffee because I want to know why the kids is all right. Because I would like to think if I died, my kids would not be all right. I would think they would never be all right again. I mean, I want them to learn to get over it and move forward, but I want them to be aware. Why your kids all right? They ain't like their mama, apparently. So look, the lady on the other side, live on the other side of me, told me that the son and the daughter was like a little bit estranged. They moved out as soon as they turned 18. You know how it is around here. These kids live at home forever, ever. They get married and bring their wife and kids, be living in your basement and stuff. Both of their kids, as soon as they hit 18, they left the house. And I was like, oh, apparently Henry and his wife was sleeping in separate rooms. And now this is his story, child. I heard it from his mouth because, I didn't want to hear it like a second or third hand source. If I'm going to bring you the good news of the gossip on the block, then I need to bring you that good. I need to bring you fresh, authentic, handmade, curated gossip, right? So I was like, baby, sit down. You need a cup of coffee? You want some decaf or something? Poured him a nice cup of decaf. It was getting late. I didn't want him to be too jittery, but I needed that regular, fully caffeinated so I could hear every single thing that happened and also so I could remember it. so I could tell the neighbors, so people knew how to properly approach him aggrieved. So anyway, offered their condolences and stuff. I said, so what happened? He said, I'm gonna need you to give me more than I got nothing but time. Yes, my family is still waiting, but they at the house, they watching the football game. I don't know who was playing, but the men was real excited about it. And football games last a couple of hours. I was like, baby, you could take your time telling me the story of how she passed away, because my family is occupied. I'm here for you. And that's what I said to him. I'm here for you. Now, the part of that I didn't say was to tell all your dirty secrets to, but that's while I was there. So he was like, so, she was a little tipsy. You know that means she was drunk as a skunk, right? But okay. She was a little tipsy, and we have been sleeping in separate rooms recently. Does recently mean the last 3 years? Okay, cool. Fine. Anyway, she went and took a bath. And he thinks she slipped in the bathtub because she had a cut on her lip and one of her teeth was chipped. What? Was there blood in the bathroom? Did you take pictures? Did like those special technicians or whatever, the CSIs come in and take the pictures and stuff? I want to know everything. But I didn't want him to stop talking, so I convinced to shut up. And he said, yeah. So she went in her room and she was getting dressed and stuff. And then I heard boom, 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 boom. And it sounded like she fell down. So I waited for a minute to see, like, well, wait, what was that? You've been married to this woman for 35 years. You hear what sounds like somebody falling down and you don't run right away, check on her, see what's happening? Okay. So he said, so I went in there and she was laying on the floor and it didn't look like she was breathing and I was nervous. Okay, you wasn't scared, you was nervous. And he said, so I called her name and I shook her a little bit and I was thinking maybe she had a heart attack. He said, so I had to go back in my room and find my phone and I couldn't find my phone and then it wasn't plugged in, so I had to plug it in so it could charge. Why are you taking all this time? Look, I love me some true crime. So I was like, should I be conducting a complete investigation in this house right now? Should I be touching anything? Oh, I knew I should have come in here with like a hairnet and booties and some gloves and stuff. I don't need my fingerprints all up in this situation. So he goes on, right? He plugs in his phone so it can charge. While your wife is there on the floor dying. Okay. So he charged his phone because he figured he gonna need that later. So then he goes back in her room, finds her phone. If her phone was right there, why didn't you just grab it right away? So anyway, he calls 911. And then, 911, what's your emergency? And he said, oh, my wife is on the floor. She fell down. She hurt herself. I don't know what happened. And they were like, okay, what's your address? He gives all the information, goes and unlocks the front door. They say, is she breathing? And he said, I checked her and I couldn't feel a heartbeat. And, I couldn't find her pulse. But he don't know how to take no pulse. What he know about taking a pulse? So anyway, he said he couldn't find no pulse. And they said, okay, so we're going to walk you through CPR. And you know what he said? Now listen, I ain't heard this from nobody else. I heard these words out of his mouth. He said, oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. They was given a command. They was not asking you, would you like coffee or tea? Would you like to sit by the window or by the aisle? No, they was given commands. Get out of the house. Run, a lion is coming. Give your dying wife CPR. He said, no, thank you. Now, look, I appreciate the fact that he said thank you because that is just a demonstration of good manners. But when your wife is barely alive on the floor, haven't you already opted out of saying no, thank you? You promised through sickness and health till death do us part. Maybe he was like, this is his chance to get out. If it's till death do us part, that's why he was slow walking, calling the 911 and going to check on her. So look, he said, they were like, no, sir, you need to give her CPR. And he said, oh, no, I don't think so. This is what he told me. Now I'm gonna have to, they got them FOIA requests. So now I'm gonna have to request the 911 tape just to verify the circumstance, make sure everything is what he said it was. Because, if he is complicit in her unaliving, I don't want no parts of that. So I need to know all of the information so I can find out, is he like a conspiracy unaliver, or was this just a bad, unfortunate situation? She got that good job, so she got that good. She was a school teacher. Well, when she wasn't drunk. But, she was a school teacher. So, she got them. She been a school teacher for like 25 years. So she got them good life insurance benefits and all that. I don't know, Social Security. I don't know what you get. Anyway, so he said, no, thank you. And so he said, oh, I'm just going to sit here and wait. And he said, I just sat there and I was sitting there with my hands folded on the bed, looking at her on the floor. Oh, she looked so peaceful. Sarah, she looked dead. She was no longer on this mortal coil. You talking about she looked so peaceful. So the paramedics finally come. He had left the front door open, and he escorted them in. I'm surprised he didn't send him down to offer him a cup of tea, because he wasn't in no kind of rush. Well, come to find out, they found the pulse. I needed to see the look in his face. Was he disappointed when they found the pulse? Was he like, oh, shoot, I guess I'm not getting that new patio set that I was planning on with that life insurance money? So they take her out and they take her to the hospital, and he does not go to the hospital with her. He said he had to stay back and clean up the house because he knew his kids was going to come over. And then he made his way over. But he went in his own car. He didn't ride in the ambulance with her because he wanted to give her her dignity. Her dignity? She had no dignity when she was laying there on the floor, when you was refusing to, no thank you to the CPR. What? So he said, well, by the time I got over there, they said they couldn't bring her back. They couldn't save her. He said, I just said, okay. And I asked for her personal effects, and they sent me in to go say goodbye. So I slipped her wedding ring off her finger, and I came home. And now here it is. I guess I'm going to give it to my daughter for when she get married. Wait. You were more worried about that wedding ring that you slipped off this dead woman's finger than you were about the fact that your wife is now dearly departed, no longer on this mortal coil. You a widower. Listen, it ain't none of my business, right? And far be it from me to speculate without grounds, but I think I have grounds. I'm telling you right now, he poisoned her. Now, do I have proof? No. Have I gone through their cabinets? No. But what I'm going to do, as a good neighbor, I'm just trying to be, like do my Christian duty and stuff. As a good neighbor, I'm going to leave him the heck alone, because clearly he's an unaliver. He don't seem sad enough. The kids are not broken up. Everybody was like, okay. She watching you from beyond the veil. What are you doing? But it's not like she could do anything except for make your electronics flash and stuff. Look, she might zero out your whole bank account from the other side. She gonna make that life insurance check bounce. Y'all, he is cute though. And he about to come into a lot of money. I wonder if any of my girlfriends, I'm trying to think of any of my single girlfriends that I could set him up with. Although, listen, I got a personal rule. If you're a widower, that's real sad. But if you are a suspect in the unfortunate unaliving of your former spouse, undateable. Undateable. That is just the standard I have for myself. And if I suspect you of being part of an unaliver, of being an unaliver, I can't set you up. So I listened to him tell his story, and he dry cried for a little bit. You know that dry crying. Not a tear fell. No snot, no nothing. Dry crying. And I was like, okay, well, you enjoy that pound cake. He said, okay, thank you so much. But then I was scared to drink the rest of my cup of coffee, because I don't know what this man is capable of. He might have slipped something in my coffee. So I came on back home and just did the dishes. And I wasn't going to tell nobody what I found out. But then I was like, I know y'all will want to know, but you know the rules here. You ain't heard none of this from me. I'll talk to you later.